We're back in my office again today, and today we are going to do a video that has been greatly anticipated by a lot of you, and it is another Volume 1 Blitz. So I'm going to briefly go over the ones that I'm going to be reading in this vlog, so you'll kind of get an intro, and then we'll go into each individual series to see whether I want to pick up more or if I'm okay to just read the one or if I'm DNFing even. So the first one I have here is Vampire Bloodrin or Blood Drive. This is one I'm borrowing from Maeve. I believe this is the entire series, and I believe you can only get it on their website right now. So again, I'm borrowing it from Maeve Ever Reading. She's one of my favorite humans. I'll leave her Instagram link down below. You can follow her and support her there. I don't know too much about this, but this cover is everything. And Maeve loved it, and we have very similar tastes in a lot of ways, so I'm very trusting, and I'm very excited to see an independently pubbed manga in my hand, and I'm ready. I'm just ready, because she looks like a pinup girl, and so much about this is speaking to me. So, very excited for that. Another one that I borrowed from here is Studio Apartment Good Lighting Angel Included Volume 1. This looks absolutely adorable, and it's one that I've been very curious about. But again, I don't know too terribly much. I like to go into my Volume 1s pretty blind. I usually know kind of a basis or someone I really trust, like Maeve has recommended it. So I'm borrowing this one from her. She really enjoyed it as well. So I'll give you my thoughts on this one soon. The last one I've borrowed from Maeve is The Holy Grail of Eris Volume 1. Again, I think this is going to play into kind of like the isekai land that I've been living and loving in lately. So very excited about this one as well. The rest of these I have purchased with my own dollars, and I'm very excited. So the first one is Shadow House Volume 1. Not only does this look adorable, this has kind of that paranormal spooky thing that I love every so often. So I really am excited to try this one. Then I have The Elusive Samurai Volume 1. This is a Shonen Jump title. I have not picked up a Shonen Jump in a hot minute. And this one looks like it's going to be very intriguing with the idea of a female samurai, or a very young samurai if it's not a female, I think. Maybe it is a male. I don't remember. Looks very female on this cover though. But either way, I'm very excited to learn more about this. The idea of samurais has always been very intriguing to me, so I'm excited. Then I have Moon and Sun Volume 1. People have been begging me for my thoughts on this one, and it's one that I've had for a minute. I'm ready to finally dive in. This is a male-male LGBT Yakuza story. I've been loving Yakuza lately, so we're going to give this one a try and see how it goes. And then, of course, I have Night with a Cat Volume 1, and it's cat manga. Of course, I'm going to try it. And then the last one I'm going to be trying is a manhwa that's full color, and that is Daughter of the Emperor. I've been hearing really good buzz about this one so far. I kind of waited on this one for a minute before I even purchased it, but I am very excited to see where this one's going to go. So those are the ones I'm going to be trying out in this vlog. So if you're looking for specific titles, I'm going to try to leave timestamps down below for each title, so you can just skip to the ones you want. But I would encourage you to hear my thoughts on all of them. Not because I'm the be-all, end-all, but just because I'm going to try to give as thorough of thoughts as I possibly can on this one. So with that said, let's dive in. Psych! There's actually 2 more titles. So I also have Hi, I'm a Witch, and my crush wants me to make a love potion. I've heard this is slow burn shoujo goodness, so I'm very, very excited about this one. I've heard that if you go in knowing it's going to be slow burn, your enjoyment level tends to be a bit higher. So again, very, very excited. I like slow burn anyway, so very excited. And then the last one is another BL that's new, and it's The Otherworld's Books Depend on the Bean Counter. So there's an accountant involved here. That's where Bean Counter comes in. But it looks like it's an isekai style story that's a BL, and it just looks amazing. From customers that I trust at the bookstore, they've already read it and enjoyed it. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. I think it's going to be a great time. So now we're really going to get into it. So quickly this morning, I did double check my stack to make sure I didn't have any other volume 1s hanging out. And I found that I had my dear friend Nokotan that I hadn't read yet. So I'm quickly throwing that into this video. I won't read it quite yet. I'm in the middle of one of my other volumes, but just know that I will be reading this one too. Okay, so I've officially finished the first volume for this volume 1 Blitz. And it's a complete story, and that is Vampire Blood Drive. This is the cutest take on sapphic vampires I've read in ever. I've not read any other sapphic vampires, but Bunny and Velvet are seriously two of the sweetest, most adorable characters together. I'm a huge fan of them. The art in this is stunning. Bunny is basically like a Betty Boop style pinup girl. Velvet is, she calls her butch girlfriend, and Velvet is amazing. Velvet is like Oscar from Rose of Versailles, just with shorter hair, where everybody wants to be with Velvet. Like, we thrive on life with Velvet. But the way that this slowly evolved from her being afraid of vampires into wanting to be with Velvet forever and being vampires together was just super sweet. The journey was great. I felt like the pacing was really well done. This, I believe it normally would have been like 2 volumes, so it took me a little while to read, but I absolutely adored this. I cannot wait to pick up my own copy. I did borrow this from Maeve, so I'm going to purchase my own copy because this is one I would revisit because these two are so adorable. Like, I want more. Like, I can't get enough of them. So I will definitely be buying this myself. And I believe you can only get it from the mangaka's website. So I will leave that linked down below so that you can pick up your own copy. And sapphic vampires, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So if you were interested in this at all, my stamp of approval would be yes, pick it up. It does have a sexual nature to it. You do see boobies, you see Velvet going down on Bunny, you see sexual things. So if that bothers you in your manga, this might be one that you need to pass on. But I thought it was very tastefully done. I really enjoyed the whole process. So would recommend Vampire Blood Drive. Hello. So I have my second read completed for this vlog, and that is The Holy Grail of Eris. Now, this is a really interesting take. So basically, a woman was accused of being a witch or a harlot or whatever, and she was executed. And so this young woman from the Grail family was present at the execution, and they made eye contact, and they now have a connection. So 10 years later, Connie, or Constance, is engaged, and she catches her fiance cheating on her. And this was supposed to be something to protect her family, and she doesn't know how to handle it, and she keeps continuing to be framed in a bad way, like she's a thief and stuff, by a woman who's in love with her fiance. So this woman is trying to publicly shame Constance, and the other mystically adepted woman steps in and takes over the situation, and it's amazing. I'm so excited for the future of this because now clearly there's going to be some sort of contract happening between them, and I'm so excited for the future of this. So yes, it's amazing. I love it. Would recommend. Will be picking up my own copy and will be continuing because it is so, so good. All right. So we have read another volume. This is the last of the volumes that I've borrowed from Maeve, and that is Studio Apartment, Good Lighting, Angel Included. Now, the start of this is really quite sweet. Essentially, we have a teenage boy who's living on his own because his parents are very career-oriented, and he's kind of left to his own devices, so he's in his own apartment now. One night, he leaves his window open, and this angel falls asleep on his balcony, and she doesn't have anywhere to go. She's supposed to be studying humanity, and so she ends up staying with him. We also find out that there is a childhood best friend who's in love with him, and we meet another character towards the end. So this has all of the beats of a harem coming up, but it's one of those harems that I'm not finding overly, like, icky and, like, overly sexualized. So far, I'm really good, really enjoying it. My battery's about to die, but if this one interests you, I would recommend picking it up. Alrighty, time for another update. So, for this one, I have, hi, I'm a witch, and my crush wants me to make a love potion. So, this is super cute. I am madly in love with this. It is very slow burn. You do get what you need from it by the last chapter, but I just want more. I'm so excited for volume 2. Like, these two are absolutely adorable. There's not anything necessarily earth-shattering or groundbreaking going on here. I'm not going to say that there is, but man, this is adorable. I'm absolutely loving it. I adore their chemistry. The way that the witch magic works in this world, there's like a cost to witches, and the cost is a very interesting cost. And so I am very, very excited to see how this continues to play out. Because essentially what happens is through their process of chatting, and as he's gathering ingredients for this love potion, she accidentally reveals the witch's secret that she's not supposed to. And so, yes, I absolutely adored this. It's so cute. Like, the art is adorable, like, super adorable. And it just has that great shoujo quality to it, where you're just invested in them. And we learn who actually needs the love potion. Whether it's him or someone else, I will not say. But we learn who needs the love potion and why he's there for it. So, with that said, I'm definitely going to buy more of this one. Like, I am fully on board, fully invested. Yes, please. If you want a cute shoujo with a little bit of magic sprinkled into it, this is for you. Like, seriously. So, so cute. Hi, friends. It's officially the next day. So let's talk about the next volume that I read, and I did read this last night, and that is Nights with a Cat, Volume 1. This is basically just cat shenanigans. This guy lets his sister move in. His sister has a cat. We don't know how she's come by the cat, but she and the cat don't get along, but he and the cat get along. And it's just cat shenanigans. If you love cat shenanigan manga, this is going to definitely be for you. This isn't necessarily going to be high on my collect priority list, but when I've got some extra money, I'll probably pick up volumes here and there. If you didn't necessarily like the art style of Wonder Cat Q-chan, you might like this one a little bit better. The eyes are only big at night. Other than that, their eyes are normal, and it's just a lot of fun. I had a good time with it. It does have some slight coloring to it, so it's not strictly black and white, but like there's some yellows and some greens. Like his sweater's green, and a lot of stuff centered around the cat will have a little bit of color, like whatever the focus item is. So it's fun that way. I think it's very clever and very sweet. So if you like cat manga, this one's for you. So says the Kaladin behind me. Alrighty, so the next one that I read was Moon and Sun, Volume 1. So I have kind of mixed feelings about this one. So we have a man who loves to be beautiful and a son of a Yakuza. And they are interacting, and their interactions are very interesting to me. This young man brings out a different side of our man in drag. He has been helping out at a drag club, helps with makeup and stuff, and yeah. So their dynamic is very interesting. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I don't 100% know how to feel. Like, I find their interactions very intriguing, but it's not like, I'm not at a point where I'm like madly in love with the two of them. I could get there, but I feel like how we're getting there isn't necessarily my favorite dynamic. So I don't know. I have complicated feelings about this one, I think. So I think this is one I'm going to have to sit on before I decide if I'm going to continue. And if I have any friends locally that pick it up, I may borrow Volume 2 before I begin to purchase again, kind of a thing. I don't know. But I love the characters. How they're interacting together, I just don't know if I love. So that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I know y'all were super excited for my thoughts on this one, and I'm sorry that they're very kind of vague at the moment. I'm still kind of like trying to figure out where I feel about it. So once I have more concrete thoughts, feel free. I would be happy to DM and chat with anybody about specifics. Alrighty, so I finished another volume, and that is The Otherworld's Books Depend on the Bean Counter, Volume 1. Now, I picked this one up very much on a whim. I didn't really know anything about it, but I love this so very much. So we have a Japanese man who gets pulled into an isekai moment with a Japanese woman, and once they land, they're like, oh crap, our spell brought an extra person. And he, being the workaholic that he is, immediately says, I want you guys to give me a job. I'm okay to be here. Just give me a job. I'm really good with numbers and accounting. So he gets put in the accounting department at the palace. And while he's there, he kind of discovers that the palace and the kingdom is really pretty bankrupt at this point, because the accounting department just approved everything, no matter what it was. And so people started to abuse that power, and he's calling them out on it. So it's been very interesting. And then the dynamic between these two is interesting. He is like a very high-ranking knight in this kingdom, and has always been very curious about this guy and how he's infiltrated the palace and whatnot. But it's very much like there's a slightly romantic element introduced towards the end of this volume that I don't want to tell you about, because I'm so glad I was surprised by it. And I'm down. I'm here for it. I ship them so hard. I'm obsessed just a little bit with these two, because their dynamic is amazing, and how they get from point A to point B is also amazing. So yes, I would recommend this quirky titled manga. I think it's a great time. Yes, The Otherworld's Books Depend on the Bean Counter. I don't love the title, but like, he actually does have whatever those are called, where you move like the things back and forth. So I think that's why they chose Bean Counter rather than Accountant in the title. So yeah, anyways, that's all this is he's a workaholic accountant. So anyways, very, very good. I really enjoyed it. And the magic is very interesting in this world. So that's where I'm going to leave this, but I would recommend picking this up. I'm definitely down to pick up more. So I officially have the first flop of this video, the first real solid flop where I know I'm not picking up anymore. And sadly, that is the Elusive Samurai. So it is a young child. It's a boy, a male young child who is supposed to be training to become a samurai, but he's very good at escaping anyone and everyone. And the whole concept basically is that he's thrown into this war because the person he admired the most went and killed everyone he cared about. And now he has to evade said person for who knows how long. And there is a character in here that is very creepy, like child molester level creepy. And I was not okay. Like, this was very uncomfy for me, like worse than Crazy Food Truck uncomfy for me. So I will definitely not be picking any more of this up. I will be getting rid of this volume. Yeah, just not for me. I'm really sad. I really wanted to love it. There's a lot they could have done with this kind of a concept, and I'm really disappointed with where it went. So that's all I'm going to say about this one, because I just can't talk about it anymore. I'm too sad. All right. So I've read another one, and that is Shadow House Volume 1. With this one, I feel like I enjoyed my time reading it, but I'm not sure if this one necessarily has rereadability to me. So if I found it on sale, I would probably pick up more volumes, is kind of where I'm at with this one. But I don't know for sure. One volume I think is really hard to tell with this particular series because a lot of this first volume we're establishing our characters in our world. Essentially, these shadow people are kind of made of soot, and they make living dolls to kind of represent them and be like their mirrors so they see their faces and whatnot. So the whole concept is very interesting and very intriguing to me, but I'm not sure where it's going to go from here. So I'm slightly nervous with some of the things that happened in this particular volume. So I think I would either read or borrow volume 2 before purchasing for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's very intriguing, and I think it has potential to go really cool places. But again, I think it's too early for me to say this is a definite yes or this is a definite no. So again, it's lower on my priority collection list because I think I'd rather like borrow a few volumes to know I'm really going to enjoy it before proceeding and purchasing. So I won't be getting rid of this one per se, but it's lower on my collect list for now. Well, we officially have another flop, and that sadly is my dear friend Nokotan. I said it incorrectly or in my earlier clip. But in this one, it's a little too weird and quirky for me. I can handle weird and quirky, and I like weird and quirky, but this one is just like off the rails. The humor didn't really land with me. It definitely is a Yuri style story. So we have a female-female relationship developing with a dear girl and a former delinquent who is trying to turn things around and be a good girl. But this dear girl, Nokotan, has a sense in her antlers that lets her know she was a delinquent. And so, like, she has this weird nickname for her. And, like, it wasn't landing quite right for me. And I'm really sad because, like, in concept and in theory, this could have been really fun and really cute. But for me, it just didn't quite land. I'm not saying this isn't going to be for other people. It's just one that's not for me. And so this is definitely, I'm not going to be picking up any more of this one. So yeah, that's 2 in this reading experiment that I'm officially not going to be picking up any more of, and some that I'm definitely on the fence about. So it's been an interesting experiment so far. I've got 1 more left to read, and then we'll wrap this video up. We officially have the most unexpected one in the bunch for me, and that is Daughter of the Emperor. Now, I'm really enjoying this. It is just not what I was expecting it to be. This is definitely not a romance, but I was expecting a romance. I thought this was going to be an isekai style romance, but no, it is not. Essentially, this woman is reincarnated as a child, but she has all of her memories, so she understands what's going on. But her father is a tyrant. The first time she meets him, he tries to, like, choke her out, but she doesn't react and she doesn't cry, and so that intrigues him, and so she gets to survive. So from there, it's him learning how to be a father to her. She's kind of figuring out the world and the politics, and how he's not as much of a tyrant as the rest of the world finds him to be. And so it's just very interesting. This is definitely going to be a long one, because, like, she's not even a year old yet. So, like, it's going to be this whole story told from his story, I think, told from her perspective as she's growing up and learning. And there's been some really sweet moments, and then he doesn't react very well to some of them. And it's just really interesting. I am very intrigued at the future of this series. But again, it's not anything like I thought it was going to be. And it's a lot of fun, though. Like, it is full color. The art is fantastic. I really enjoy it. And yes, I'm very excited to pick up more of this one. Again, an unexpected one. Not what I was expecting at all, but in a good way. Usually when that happens, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel now. But for this, it actually worked better than I was expecting. So again, very, very excited. Not currently a romance. It might turn into a romance in the future. I mean, there's a guy who's a telepath who knows that she can understand things, and he's already propositioning to have her for himself later. So who knows? Maybe they will have a romance. I don't know. He's some sort of paranormal mystic being, so it's possible. I don't know. But anyway, I'm very excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's where we're at. So with that said, this is currently my priority pickup list from the ones that I've read today. I of course left the 2 off that I won't be picking up any more of. And so yeah, this is my priority pickup list from this experiment. I hope you found this helpful and that this might help you kind of filter what you like and what you don't like in series like these, and that it may help you in selecting because there's so many to choose from now. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're here just because you love me, leave me some sort of wild animal emoji, like a deer or some sort of forest animal. We'll go forest animal. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head?